Hey Queens, welcome to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, we will be learning how to make this beautiful blouse you see on your screen. It is very easy to make. Just make sure you watch this video to the end. So because it is a very detailed video, it is so lengthy, I divided it into two parts. This part is for the pattern drafting, while the sewing tutorial will be on my next video. So please guys, subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell, like and drop a comment. So let's get into the video. On the table, I have my pattern paper, which I rolled out off camera. So basically what I did here was that I divided my pattern paper into two parts, the front and back part, using my hip measurement, which is 46 inches. I went ahead to divide my hip measurement by 4, which gave me 11.5 inches, added 5 inches for seam allowance, and I just drew 12 inches from the shoulder line down to the blouse length. From the shoulder line, I ruled out all my vertical measurements. So please note that the reason I used my hips to divide this pattern was because my hip is the largest part of my body and the blouse is going to be up to my hips. So I didn't want to have issues over there. So to get these vertical lines, properly place your tape on your shoulders and point out your chest line. Mine is 8. Your bust point, mine is 11. Then the under bust line, mine is 15. My half length is 20 inches and the full length of this dress is 34. Initially it was 34 inches I ruled, but I later discovered it was too long and I had to reduce it by 2 inches and left it at 32 inches. To me, the beauty of this blouse is when it is not so long, like the one on my thumbnail. But anyways, you can go ahead and do whatever you like, if you want yours long or short, whichever way. So for the back part of this dress, we will not be needing the under bust line and the bust point line, just the shoulder, the chest line, half length and the full length. So right now, I'm just going to be extending my chest line to the back part. And for my back half length, it is shorter than my front by 2 inches. So remember, my front half length is 20 inches. So the back half length is 18 inches. Normally, they are not the same. So go ahead and measure yours and know know the difference. Everything will still be equal when I take out my 2 inches dart from my 2 inches side dart from my front. So I've gone ahead to set the back part of this dress aside. Now I'll be focusing on the front part. So my shoulder is 15 inches, divide by 2, 7.5 inch. I went ahead to add half inch, making it 8 inches for seam allowance. For my neck width, I used 3 inches, which is the standard measurement. For my neck depth, I came down by 4 inches and I used my ruler to connect those lines together. So remember, this is a Queen Anne neckline. So I will be using my curve ruler to create a sweetheart curve to down to my, I just traced it down to my chest line. Yeah, so guys, please pardon that mistake I made. I was gisting with someone and my mind was not just there. So yeah, just ignore it. So to get the armhole, come down by 1 inches for your shoulder slope, connect it to the shoulder line. Also go ahead to place your tape and ensure you are still maintaining the shoulder line, the shoulder measurements, which is 8 inches. And then rule it from the shoulder slope down to the chest line. So I love using 7 inches for my armhole because I love the way it clips my armpits together. Like, it just gives me that, you know, ready-made look. So to get the armhole, to get the midpoint of the armhole, just go ahead and divide your armhole by 2. Mine was 3.5 and just connect it to the bust, to the chest line. So right now I will be imputing my body's measurement. My bust is 39 inches divided by 4, which is 9.5. I went ahead to add half inch seam allowance to it, and to be honest with you guys, I really regretted adding half inch to this dress because it became so tight after a while. Although I wanted it to look so fitted, but I feel I later regret it. So go ahead and add at least 1 inch's allowance to yours. Now from my half length line, I took my tummy, my round tummy measurement, which is 34 divided by 4. It gave me 8.5 and I added half inches, which is 9 inches, and I just ruled it there. Now on my full length line, I have gone ahead to take my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 42 inches divided by 4, 10.5 plus half inch, 11, and I have gone ahead to impute it. So right now I'm trying to get my extension. I'm trying to get that back effect on my blouse, and I just came down from my hips I came down from my full length line by 3 inches. So I'm just connecting all my body's measurements together, and I went also to curve my backs, the 3 inches I extended. I went to curve it in. So using my straight rule, I just slanted it down to the back's line. Yeah, just like what you see me do right now. So guys, if you've watched up to this point, please like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to this channel, please. It is a new. Thank you. And I'm sure you can tell from my explanation that I'm a new YouTuber. Yes, so I hope to get better. Please support me by liking and commenting. So remember the 2 inches deduction we made from the back part. We will be taking it in as a side dart for the front. So from the bust point line now, divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. Mine is 4. And just mark it out. Then come up by 2 inches from the bust, still from the bust point line, and just slant it into that 4-inch nipple to nipple measurement you got. So I went on to reduce the sharpness from my backs, and I am just going to cut out my pattern. So right now I am about to cut out my back's effects, but you can decide not to cut yours. You can just decide to go ahead and sew yours together, whichever way is actually fine. But I want to cut mine out. So right now I've gone ahead to cut it out and just give it a little bit opening at the upper part. I just wanted it to have a little wideness at the upper part. So I've gone ahead to just open it out a bit by 3/4 of an inch. Yeah. So I just took it down all the way. Actually, the wideness was from the upper part more. So please, this is so important. Make sure you label it so you don't just confuse everything. Yeah. So moving over to the back part of my dress, I went on to add a little bit pattern to it because it was not enough. I couldn't get my zipper allowance. So I went on to add a little bit pattern to it. And now I'm just trying to get my zipper allowance, which is 2 inches. And I ruled that from the shoulder down to the end of the pattern. So place your ruler from the line you drew for your zipper and repeat the same process we did for the front part. Yeah, but for this time around, I will be using 2 inches for the back neckline depth. Yeah, I just went in to repeat the same thing basically. So to eliminate zipper bulge, from the half length line, come in by ½ inches. Remember we took 2 inches for the zip allowance. So from the half length line, we'll be removing 1.5 inches and we'll be left with just ½ inches because I don't use zip allowance for my half length line to eliminate zipper bulge totally. So I just went on to connect it from my shoulder line down to my full length of the pattern. So I just went on to impute my body measurements the same way I did for the front, and I'm trying to remove my backs from the pattern. Yeah, like so. So I will not be needing a zipper allowance on my backs, so I just went on to remove it totally. And always make sure to identify the upper part of your backs so that you don't just mix it up. Yeah, you see, after I take in these zipper parts, when I'm sewing, everything will just align and they will be the same. So right now I am about cutting the sleeve part, and I went ahead to fold my pattern into 2. So from the starting line I drew, I will be taking all my measurements, starting with the biceps line. The bicep line is 5 inches from my starting line. My full length is 26 inches and my elbow length is 13 inches. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and mark that out, all those lines. To get the bell effect on the sleeve, place your tape from the starting point to the full length of the pattern, which is 26 inches for me, and come down to 19 inches. Yes, come up to 19 inches and mark it out. That is where the slits. So now let me just explain the lines one more time. So from the starting line, I came down by 5 inches to get my bicep line and 13 inches for the elbow, then 19 inches for the bell effect where my slit is also going to start. Then the full length of this sleeve is at 26 inches. Now I'm imputing my round arm measurement at my biceps line, which is at 13 inches, divide by 2, 6, 3/4, and I just made that 7.5 for ease. My elbow is at 10 inches, divide by 2 is 5. I added 1 inch for ease. From my slit line, where the bell will start from, I took my round circumference, which is at 8 inches, divide by 4. Divide by 2 gave me 4, but I just made it 5.5 for extra ease. So on my full length line, I was just trying to determine the length, how wide I wanted my bell to look. Initially, I marked out 10, but I just realized it would be too wide and I didn't want it to be wide, so I just left it at 8.5 inches. And I went ahead to rule out all those. We are coming towards the end of the drafting part of this dress. And right now I'm just connecting my armhole to meet with my biceps. There's no special measurement for this. Just use your free hand to create a curve to meet your biceps. And I'm just going to cut all of that out. So thank you so much. If you have watched this video to this very point, please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel. I have a lot of amazing tutorials coming up soon. We have come to the end of this tutorial, and in my next video I will be transferring all these patterns to the fabric and I will be sewing it. So you don't want to miss that video. I'll be seeing you all in my sewing video. For now, bye, take care of yourself, and see you on my next one.